On the outbreak of war in 1914, the British Army had no formal organisation in place to train snipers, unlike the German Army, who were already using their marksmen to deadly effect. This situation continued for many, many months, well into 1915, when Hesketh-Pritchard, who'd been sent to France to look after the war correspondence, but was actually in peacetime a very well-known game hunter and certainly a marksman in his own right, realised the damage that the German army were causing and that the British needed to up their game. He set about reorganising the British Army and setting up sniper schools, and it's estimated that over the period that he was organising this in France, he probably saved anything up to 3,500 British lives and ended the war as an honorary major with a Distinguished Service Order and a military cross. When we think of sniper sights, we normally imagine the long cylindrical, prismatic, telescopic sight mounted on the top of the rifle that we're all familiar with. But to begin with, there were an awful lot of early designs which featured the Galilean principle with two pieces of glass mounted at different points on the rifle with magnifying lenses in. One of those was invented by Captain Lattey, and the Lattey sights were very, very simple indeed. The rear sight was mounted on the back of the actual rifle rear sight. It was just a little block screwed on with a lens in the centre, and the other one was fixed to the muzzle at the front of the rifle on the nose cap. And literally it worked by sighting through the lens at the rear sight, through the magnifying lens in front, and that was how you magnified the target. It wasn't particularly effective, but it certainly did magnify the target and it made it slightly easier to see what you were shooting at. But of course these were all superseded very quickly. The Lattey sights in particular, they were sealed for use on the 25th of September 1915, although in practice it had almost certainly been in use much longer than that. But very, very quickly they were superseded by the telescopic sights we're familiar with today. And over the rest of the war, Hesketh-Pritchard and his teams in the army sniping schools brought the standard of British musketry and sniping up to a very high standard and certainly saved an awful lot of lives by training snipers how to disguise themselves and move across the battlefield successfully and blend in, and it reduced the casualties enormously.